Alright, so today I got the Platinum Trophy on Little Nightmares 2, which is the sequel to Little Nightmares, an absolute horror classic within the gaming world. And I posted that video a while ago, but inside I said if I got a certain amount of likes, I would do a stream, and I finally did with Little Nightmares 2. So I swear to God, if the allegations of me not playing the games myself don't go away now, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Oh my God!
Anyways, this entire video was all streamed at once over on the second channel, ItsIlusion Live. But Little Nightmares 2 only has 35 trophies inside, takes one playthrough, and there is thankfully not a speedrun trophy this time. God bless America. This is also a part of my challenge to platinum pretty much every single notable single player game that I haven't already before I hit 100,000 subscribers, because I have no life, so make sure to drop a like and subscribe. So the first stage is to do a blind playthrough if you actually want to enjoy the game. No, we did not do that. Instead, I skipped to stage 2 and just cleaned it up by following a collectibles guide the entire time, because there's around 30 or so collectibles, I think, in the game. But on this first section, you get dropped into a forest, and there isn't actually any enemies here per se, but rather just traps scattered around, and I, being the genius that I am, was not totally locked in. I blame the stream. So I got caught in the first trap, which not only made me die, but also already made me miss one trophy from not dying in the intro. What a day we were gonna have. So yeah, the rest of this intro then had me maneuver through actual bear traps, which you just set them off all by throwing items at them. And it was a lot of fun, honestly. It reminded me of the days throwing stuff at homeless people. But then you reach a house, and this is where the trophy for not dying would have popped. However, there was another trophy right here from just opening the fridge in the house and stealing everything like a true squatter. And the trophy name was What's in the Box. Why does every single game reference the movie 7 all of a sudden, I swear? Anyways, next I headed down to the basement and had to break through this door to save a little child stuck inside. And we did this Shining style, by the way, which was funny. It's no wonder the creature in here got scared. I would be too. Also, that is the character from the other Little Nightmares game, I think. Not positive though. Next, we headed up to the attic to get a key from somewhere, and I also took this as my chance to just spam triangle and get a trophy from calling 6 like 20 times or something. We then reached this window high up that both of us parkoured through pretty easily, but I was unaware that on the next side of the room was just an actual person and not a figment of my schizophrenia. So I just ran past him and got dropped like a bad habit over and over, by the way. Yeah, we got chased and I died a lot running away from the guy. It was bad. I really need to lock in, bro. This is horrible. Eventually though, we escaped, as you would guess, so that's cool. Actually, I was just kidding. He came back and chased us even more through some new areas and new deaths for me to experience. How wonderful. But we finally reached a shed that had a full-blown shotgun inside of it. And there's a trophy here from wearing one of the collectible hats, that being the fur one, and shooting the guy with the shotgun. So here's that trophy, and we are now finally free from the evil hunter man. We then just rode this boat across a giant river or lake or some sort of body of water. Hell, it might have been the tears collected from our enemies. I mean, who really knows? That would be badass. But once we washed up on shore, I collected the last glitch remains collectible in this chapter and got that trophy. I also then just walked through some door and it ended off the first chapter of the game in general. The next chapter then began, and I'm not gonna lie, this one started off super boring. We literally just wandered around with no direction or goal, and we weren't even being chased by evil creations, so what's the point? We did eventually reach this ominous TV though, which is a huge plot point in this game and has a lot of importance in the game's world in general. But basically, we just walked down a weird hallway, and that's it for now. A bit later on, I then made it to an area with a goal and a soccer ball. And if you throw on this ball hat and hit the ball into the goal, you get a trophy, so that's awesome. We got another one, ladies. There was another trophy after in almost the same area, just up in the building right next to the goal, but it was from simply throwing a paper airplane out the window. Are we sure this is a horror game? I swear, it's so wholesome. Anyways, after that, I reached a classroom that had an evil teacher inside of it, along with a bunch of horrifying students that once alerted, chased your ass down and tried to eat you. So, you know, just forget I said this game was wholesome. It's not. But there is also a trophy from getting a triple kill using this bookshelf, and I attempted this numerous times before finally getting it right here. I also then died over and over because I was just not using my brain at all when playing the game. It was down bad, as down bad could be. But after that, I had to make it through another room with one enemy inside of it who was rabid as a mother and is chained up because of this. But once you successfully juke him out and make it through the next door, you get another trophy. Oh yeah, and right after, we got to this part with the evil teacher again, but this time the throat goat really came to play and it was actually quite disturbing. I no longer believe this is a wholesome game at all. Anyways, you escape her by just hiding in the obvious ass dark box. That's cool. There was then another section against the throat goat, but this time all you have to do is shimmy back and forth across these bookshelves and you will survive the brutal suckling attacks. I then had to do a chess puzzle, which wasn't that hard, except I'm an idiot. Eventually I got the door open and inside was a key that I then used to open a door on the floor below us, which once opened exposed us into the next room that just had enemies everywhere, and we actually got to do some combat. This game's combat is very rudimentary, however. I'm not sure how this idiot managed to hold a shotgun yet can't can't hold a spoon. Make it make sense, goddammit. Oh yeah, we also had to throw on one of the enemies' heads as a disguise to make it past the next room, which was full of a bit too many enemies for our liking. I then ran into a room slash hallway that had one of the most annoying combat sections in the entire game. You have to run through a bunch of lockers with enemies occasionally just popping out to eat you, and it's horrible. I for some reason just could not get them all and kept on failing repeatedly trying to smack these people. Last guy, please just fucking die. And why did that happen the first 15 times? Who knows, dude? Oh my fucking god. I died way too many times here, but once I finally got them all, the very next room then also had a few enemies inside of it. But it also contained our little friend from earlier who had been captured. Saving her after beating the game though really makes me question some things, if you know what I mean. But once we saved her and walked over a few rooms, there was one with a giant ass piano inside of it. And just by running back and forth on the piano, you get a trophy, so that's an easy W. And that was basically all the excitement for the chapter, so I managed to reach near the ending and grab that last glitch remain for the trophy. And then we stumbled into a big dark room that had Six's yellow jacket. And obviously some not so nice things were done with that jacket being worn, so we got a trophy from that, and it's also already warning us for the future of this game's story. I then just finished off the chapter and got yet again another trophy, so that's awesome. The next chapter, fairly early into it, there was a room with a vending machine, and if you spam it over and over, you get a trophy from overconsumption, or the average American diet. You then use one of those cans as a projectile to open this door in the same room, and we then walked over a bit and reached yet again another TV screen. It just draws us in like children in the Cocomelon YouTube channel. Anyways, after that I got a trophy once I took 6 into this x-ray machine and we held hands as we both got cancer from the radiation. How wholesome this game is. It's back to its natural state. Let's go. Oh yeah, I then made it to a toy room and found the last hat I needed to in order for me to have half of the hats in the game for a trophy. You then also get a trophy from taking a toy from the toy room down to the incinerator in the basement and, well, destroying it. So here is that. I also reached a room in this chapter that had the first of, sadly, many hand enemies. This is a new enemy in the game that is just a hand, and it's kind of hard to hit because it's always dodging one attack. However, you can still kill them pretty easily, but there's a trophy from constantly smacking it after just to make sure it's dead. Oh yeah, I also got another trophy from throwing a cob of corn into the incinerator and making quote-unquote popcorn, although I have a bad feeling it's a bit burnt. A while later, I then made my way further into the chapter and got to a place where there was cheese. So I picked up the cheese and just threw it down this chasm. I'll never understand cheese haters, man, come on. And this chapter also did have some of the more hard and spooky enemies in it, that being these kind of plastic people, I guess. But basically they run at you unless a light is shined at them. 5 Nights at Freddy's be like. Once you escape them for now, you get to another room that had the last glitch remain in it within the chapter and another trophy. Oh, and we finally did end up getting chased for real by a real enemy, that being this fat chungus on the ceiling. Not sure how the hell he's holding up all those calories, but go off, I guess. And you get rid of him by going to the incinerator and climbing under the platform and out, then locking him in and burning him alive. Nope, just kidding. You actually don't burn him alive because it's a trophy from just letting him go. How wholesome again. And that also was the end of the chapter, so here's another trophy. This last real chapter then just had a bunch of puzzles in it, to be honest, so that's kind of lame, I'm not gonna lie. But I found the last glitch remain of the chapter eventually and got a trophy, which was also the last in the entire game for another trophy. And in the same room, if you just grab this ladylike statue and break it, you also get a trophy. There was then another trophy gotten once falling into the mail room from delivering a parcel wearing the postman hat or something, so here's that. And that was also basically it for the game, leaving us with the final real fight in chapter 4, being us just running away from this giant tall man who came through the TV screen, and we ended up fending him off by just using the force of prayer, I think. So here's that chapter's trophy. However, there was still one more chapter left, but it just had us battle against Six, who was like this giant mutated thing now. And you actually had to do a considerably large amount of thinking in terms of portal hopping and stuff to get into a good position and not die, because obviously the Little Nightmare games are a one-hit death, and don't we all just love that. However, once we saved Six, we were then running away from this giant thing that looked like the wall of flesh, but on the last jump before safety, she made it easily, and I almost did also. However, then the bitch just dropped us into the shadows below like a true hoe. F you, Six. You. The betrayal is unreal, I can't lie, but I saw it coming. I mean, you can't ever trust a woman, we all know this. So yeah, then we would find out that this entire game has been one massive time loop as we watch our character mold into the tall, scary man that chased us a bit before. What a mindfuck. And here is the last 2 trophies from the story's list. I did still have a few trophies left, however. First was from just loading up chapter 2 and throwing on the last hat we got from completing the game, so here is that. Then I had to hold Six's hand for 6 minutes, which I don't want to after that ending, but I was forced to. This is sexual harassment, and here's that that trophy. My final trophy was then the one I missed right at the start from not dying in the very intro of the game. Turns out if you use your eyes and brain together, that's not hard to do. So here's that final trophy and the platinum trophy pop right along with it. That was the Little Nightmares 2 platinum trophy experience. Also, here's the platinum tattoo IRL for those of you who said I photoshopped it. You're an idiot. Anyways, Little Nightmares 2 wasn't actually that hard or scary, to be honest. I was low-key bored throughout the game because there really wasn't a lot of action. And yet again, I am afraid the original was just better. Rating it out of 10, I'm gonna give Little Nightmares 2 a solid 5. Not a bad game, just not anything special in my opinion. Anyways, that's all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon with more.